And good morning once again. I didn't really film any kind of outro for last night. Was a little too tired when we got in, getting pretty late, but we got a good solid 3 hours of sleep in, and I've been up a few hours now. I'm gonna try to see just a couple more things up here in Cincinnati before we head out of town and prepare for the 6.5 hour drive ahead of us back home. Not breaking it up on this stretch, we're making it all in one drive. So we'll see what we can find here in town today and see what the road holds ahead of us. Hello, all. Where would you like to ride today? The countryside? How about the city? Maybe a mountain forest? Or a sandy beach? No matter how far away, or in our own backyard, I hope you'll ride along. Okay, so we are still in Cincinnati. Just went to this little apparel and souvenir shop, Cincy Shirts. And right now we're going to head over towards the downtown area. And we might just go ahead and add one more state to our list here, or cross one more state off our list, I should say. And we'll just see what the road is going to hold ahead here. We are now just crossing over into Indiana. Not sure what we'll do here. Probably just stop and stretch our legs for a minute. But we will set foot in the state at least. So as you can probably tell by the flags, the wind was blowing pretty rough this day, so I had to cut every bit of the audio from then. But we're here at the levee in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. We were just driving alongside of the road when we saw this and had to take a closer look at this engineering marvel. Now this sign here shows the level of a flood that occurred back in 1937, which would most definitely have drowned the entire town of Lawrenceburg below.
and apparently Abraham Lincoln gave a speech here somewhere nearby. Many, many years, of course, before this bridge and coal power plant were here in the background. Now, something that I just really wanted to point out was just how hard the wind was blowing this day. Look here at the river. This is naturally the Ohio River, and I'm panning downstream, but the wind was blowing in my direction, causing the river to look like it is flowing backwards, back upstream towards Ohio. Now, if you're from the area, this might be a common occurrence to you, but I don't know, just something I thought was pretty cool while we were there.
So I know none of what I said out there will be heard, so naturally I will assume I will be doing a voiceover for all that. But we are just riding around through Lawrenceburg, Indiana, and this is just a very nice little town. If you've seen my channel before, if you've followed me for a while, you know I love little towns like this. And of course, we're from a small town, and I just absolutely love any little small communities like this. And it's just right here on the Ohio River. It's just so windy today. Otherwise, I'd be walking up and down the street. It's just very, very blustery day out here. We came through some pretty hard rain here just a little bit ago. The rain has let off, but it's, like I said, just very windy. I'd say winds of at least 30 miles an hour out here right now. We're up here on the levee. Felt like we're getting blown off. But if I'm out this way again, I would love to just tour the streets through here. And another thing, as by now, by the time you're seeing this, you'll know that how much I love Christmas decorations. By now you would have seen my Christmas video, and just how much I love small towns that still go the extra mile to put up Christmas lights all up and down the streets, up to lampposts. And there's just an older couple out here just a few minutes ago putting up the Christmas lights. I know by the time you see this, it will be well after Christmas. But, just taking the time out here in this wind, and I just have so much respect for that. The fact that they actually do try and do want to make their town look as beautiful as it can be. just filled up at this Sinclair gas station right here, and we are headed back home. Gonna take a little bit of a different route than the way we came, as usual. I just like to see things a little bit differently, see what more we can see taking a different route. And probably gonna have to make a few stops along the way though, because about a 6.5 hour drive, and I don't feel like making that all in one stretch. Now, one interesting thing about this town, still in Indiana here, it lists that there is a ski resort or ski area out this way. And this little hill right here is the highest peak I see in this area, except for on the other side of the river. And it's just, I mean, I guess that's where their ski area is, up on that little hill. I'm just used to seeing skiing areas being well up in the mountains, like closer to home. But we've got about 23 miles back to Cincinnati, and we're going to take a good majority of our route home back through Kentucky. So we're going to be driving through at least 5 states today, possibly 6, just depends if we go through North Carolina or not. But we'll check back in a little while, and for now you can just enjoy this little bit of the ride. are on Kentucky State Highway 9, and pretty much going to be on this highway all the way until we hit I-64 into West Virginia. So we've just pretty much cleared the Cincinnati downtown area in Newport, Kentucky. And now pretty much, I guess, just the open road for the next couple hours at least. Alright, so we're not too far out of Newport and the Cincinnati area and Covington and all that. Still in Kentucky, of course. Haven't been riding maybe about 20-30 minutes outside the city. And we're going to go ahead and stop and get some lunch, really, before we get on the open road. There's a White Castle right next door. I might grab me a few more sliders for the road, since who knows the last time I'm going to be able to get any White Castle burgers. But we're going to try another restaurant that I've always wanted to try since I was a kid and have, never had the opportunity to go to one.
The Big Boy.
So, gonna be honest, I wasn't too thrilled with Big Boy. Got the orders wrong, just, I don't know. For the price we paid, I felt like I could have got better from from a McDonald's or something. It's just, I just was not too thrilled with it. But I guess live and learn. I still love the marketing of the Big Boy and their merchandising, of course, their mascot. Very 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 well known. Of course, always just reminds me of Austin Powers to see it. But here you might can see behind me, possibly, that wind is starting to pick up quite a bit here. Looks like the rain is following us. So we drove out of it for a little while. Looks like we're going right back into it. I think I'm going to stop, run through the drive-thru at White Castle, get a few extra sliders for the road, because it's going to be well after 8 o'clock before we get in. We got another 6 hours to go. And, have to make a couple stops to stretch my legs, but, try to go ahead and get what food we need now. That way we don't, that's one less thing we have to stop for later.
Now, as we were riding along the highway, we decided to make a quick stop at the St. Patrick's Cemetery in Maysville, Kentucky, to pay our respects to the one and only Rosemary Clooney. Now, this is a very simple and humble stone for such an amazing and well-known actress and singer as she was. And as you can see, people have left behind little Snowflake and Santa Claus, most likely for her performance alongside Bing Crosby in the Christmas classic White Christmas. Now, while this isn't the largest of cemeteries out there, it was still no easy task to find her final resting place here. Now, one last thing worth noting here is something that I always tend to notice in cemeteries that are many years old and are still in use. It's just the absolute beauty of the stonework here. Many of these stones carved by hand decades ago, still standing the test of time. And while modern stones can be just as beautiful, the many hand carved ones that you can see throughout this cemetery and cemeteries all over the country are absolute works of art.
Finally back in the mountains. We're still in Kentucky, and we have just now gotten back on the interstate. We're on I-64 now, getting ready to head into West Virginia. Let's see, the sign says here 9 miles to US 60. We're not far out of West Virginia though, and it's just been driving now on and off since roughly since 2:30 the last time when we ate. We made another little stop along the way at the cemetery, and we just been driving the 2 lanes, Kentucky Route 9 all along the way, and I have to say that is a far nicer drive than the way we came up through Ohio. And it's not really that much longer. We've made it longer because we're stopping so much. But other than that, it's really been a pretty nice drive. Just a lot more mountains. And there's not really been a lot of towns in between, but just a lot prettier views than the miles and miles of nothing seeing out there in Ohio. But again, we're about to head into West Virginia, so we'll enjoy a little bit more of the ride, and we'll catch up soon. Okay, so we are now finally coming back through Charleston, West Virginia, on our way now back on I-77, getting ready to get back on the turnpike. We finally crossed the halfway point, but that's still a good 180 miles to go or so. So, still got a good 3 hours ahead of us, give or take. Hopefully, we're going to try to maybe get one more stop in before we try to make the last stretch all in one run. I don't know if I can really do that. I don't usually like to go more than 2 hours without stopping to stretch. But we've still got our White Castle burgers here, so we've got some food. Don't have to worry about spending any more money. We just need to get out and rest a few minutes. Give the car a rest too. It's been running straight since about 2:30, and it's going on 6:30 now. So stay with us, and we'll try to capture as much of the ride as we can. It's very dark already now, but anything that we can see lit up, looking all pretty with the lights, we'll try to let you see as well. So we made our last stop already, not quite an hour ago, well, just about 30 minutes ago, I guess, right before Beckley. Just pulled over to a little rest stop there, finished down our White Castle burgers, and now we're rolling down Flat Top Mountain into Mercer County, West Virginia. So this is the last stretch for West Virginia, almost back into our home state. Once again, we are going through the East River Mountain Tunnel back into our home state of Virginia. Just want to take this time to thank you again for joining us on this journey to Cincinnati, Ohio for Midnight Massacre's first show in the state of Ohio. Again, this has been the weekend of November the 14th, 2020. Not sure when you all will be seeing this, probably sometime in the early months of 2021. But I hope, if we're all still here as a planet by then, I hope this video finds you well. And I Cincinnati, Ohio area. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you all next time.